These aircraft are Coast Guard aircraft to replace 25-year-old airplanes that are necessary for the mission of the Coast Guard. Congress appropriated the dollars and paid for them in the big, beautiful bill, and we're grateful that we're able to move forward and make sure that Force Design 2028 for the Coast Guard is mission fulfilled, and they can continue to serve our country, not just in a search and rescue mission, but also cooperating with our Department of War. And they're helping us in incredible ways with drug interdiction and bringing these cartels to justice as well.
While on the subject of travel, you've received some criticism about the recent purchase of two business jets made by Gulfstream to the tune of $200 million going to the Coast Guard, which is one of your departments. It was stated by the two representatives about their questioning about this. They said that your frequent appearances at ongoing operations, which require the diversion of resources to focus on your security, appears to be unjustified. What are your comments on that?
These aircraft are Coast Guard aircraft to replace 25-year-old airplanes that are necessary for the mission of the Coast Guard. Congress appropriated the dollars and paid for them in the big, beautiful bill, and we're grateful that we're able to move forward and make sure that Force Design 2028 for the Coast Guard is mission fulfilled, and they can continue to serve our country, not just in a search and rescue mission, but also cooperating with our Department of War. And they're helping us in incredible ways with drug interdiction and bringing these cartels to justice as well. Yes. You're saying that working families are afraid to go out? I think they should be in this country legally. They have no fear whatsoever if they're in this country abiding by our laws. And that is the wonderful thing about America. Everybody is treated equally, and we don't pick and choose who the law applies to and who it doesn't. So individuals have the opportunity every day, if they're here illegally, to go home. Go home to your country and come the right way. If they wait until we detain them and we have to remove them ourselves, they'll never get the chance to come back to America.
Mm-hmm. You had mentioned, the fact that the media is not talking enough about some of the dangerous folks that you guys are catching and removing from the country. Do you think that might have something to do with the tactics, the masked ICE agents dragging people out of cars and off the street or coming out of their immigration hearings? We've seen images of families, children are crying. It's just sort of shocking in this country, never having seen that type of thing.
No, I think that our law enforcement officers are doing everything appropriately and correct to make sure people are brought to justice. And that's the opportunity that we've given individuals from day one, was that if they're in this country illegally, that they can come to us, we will pay them to leave this country $1,000 and buy them a plane ticket to leave. People get to keep their children with them. If they've committed a crime against individuals in this country, they will be brought to justice. They will be prosecuted for those crimes. We've been very clear about that, and I'm grateful for our law enforcement officers that in the face of danger are out there every day, still doing their job and doing what they can to make sure that they are safe, that they are doing it appropriately, and that they get to go home to their kids and their family members too. I think most people look around a room full of law enforcement officers, and sometimes the media doesn't tell the story that they all have families too, and that they deserve to go home that night and tuck their kids into bed and to be able to get up and support their family and pay their bills as well. That's what today is 9 months of law enforcement officers finally getting to do their job again, finally getting to do what they took an oath to do, and that's uphold the law and be fair and just in how they do that. And I'm so proud of the work that they've done.
So what happens to these four individuals? Are they going to be deported immediately?
They will be prosecuted for their crimes first in this country and serve their convictions if they're convicted, which many of them have long histories of criminal activity, and then they will be deported to their home countries.
Not to a third country.
Mm-hmm. Well, it depends on how that arrangement is negotiated. If you remember, we work with the Department of State on every single individual on how we organize those travel documents, how we work with countries, and how they take their citizens back home.
How's your recruitment effort going to hire 10,000 new agents?
Yeah, we had over 175,000 applicants for our 10,000 new ICE agents. We have many of them that are already out on the job. They've completed their training. We also have huge recruitment for not just ICE agents and HSI, but our Secret Service law enforcement officers, our CBP officers. All of those recruitment efforts are through the roof because I think of the individuals that are excited about defending the homeland, protecting this country, and making sure that they have the ability to go out and to do a job that they can be proud of. Yes.
There has been a lot of conversation and talk about the lack of transparency with regards to ICE releasing information about its operations. Can you speak to the transparency or lack thereof with regards to current operations to detain people here?
I'm not certain about those accusations. We are conducting our law enforcement operations just how we always have been. Exactly how law enforcement does investigations, how we do operations. Many of those times, those operations need to be secure, but we have not changed our protocols in how we uphold the law and how we bring people to justice based on any kind of policy that's been put in place under this administration.
And can you also talk about the communication between ICE and local law enforcement agents?
We would love to have local law enforcement across the country participating with us. Many times that's not true. Here in Sarasota, it's been fantastic. Here in Florida, it's been amazing. But you go into other communities and other states, and many times those governors are political. Those leaders in those towns, Portland's a great example of the mayor who chooses to play politics instead of keeping his citizens safe. Governor Pritzker in Illinois is putting his people in danger every day by going against us and not working with us to make sure that we're detaining individuals who have criminal charges against them or have been convicted and then re-releasing them out on the streets. We're starting to see better partnership out of some law enforcement officers who recognize that their citizens feel differently than their political leaders. Their citizens recognize that they want their streets safer. We saw that in Washington, D.C., that people that experience the freedom of being able to walk down a street, go to a restaurant again, be able to, conduct normal life and let their kids play in a playground, they enjoyed it, and they let their political leaders know that, and they've cooperated with us more. We continue to have targeted operations in many, many cities, but also very focused on those where challenges are still remaining, such as Portland, Chicago. We're in Memphis as well. We're going into San Francisco at the direction of the president as well. We're going to continue to make sure we're focused not just in those cities that we hear about on the news, but also cities like Sarasota, that we make sure that law enforcement officers in every single community get the chance to continue to get these criminals off of their streets.
Is it true, though, the majority of arrests or detentions that are happening are people who are either low-level crimes, like
well, what would you call a low-level crime? I would say anybody who's been victimized by somebody who's committed a crime, it's significant to them. It's that's significant if they end up causing harm to someone. If they're not trained and don't have a license and they're on the street operating illegally, get into an accident, hurt someone, then that no longer is a low-level crime. We have laws, and we don't get to pick which ones matter and which ones don't. Every single one of our laws has been put in place for a reason, and therefore will be enforced. Any other questions? Well, thank you so much for making sure that we're covering the good work that President Trump is doing and what he's doing to make sure that we're bringing people to justice for the crimes that they've committed. Right here in Sarasota, we've gotten murderers off the street, rapists, people who have committed crimes against children. And now today, the people of Sarasota and in Florida and our country are safer because of it. May God bless each and every one of our law enforcement officers for the work that they do, and continue to go out and to thank them. Thank them for what they're doing in the light of political attacks and threats from individuals that have an agenda. Thank them for standing up for freedom and for making sure that America can continue to be a safe country, but also a country of many liberties and blessings. God bless you.